this. Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to another episode of the Fightful Smackdown review show thing. I'm not Kate. Kate's usually here. Kate had to do something. So she said, "What are you doing tonight? Would you like to watch a terrible 3 hours of wrestling?" And I was like, "For you, anything." But you know what really made me want to do it? Was because I would get to hang out with Cresta Star, and we almost didn't get to do that because you had some technical difficulties, but you performed surgery on your computer, and now we get to hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen, especially ladies, this is the importance of learning how your computer works, because my computer just froze. It wouldn't turn on. I had to reseat my motherboard, my RAM, my video card, dust it out and pray. It's not a software issue. So listen, we're here as long as we can. Please clean out your computers, because I'm pretty sure it's my video card looking like shit. Anyway, hi Alex, how are you? It's always fun to host with other people. Love Kate, but I like cheating a little bit.
It's an open relationship. You know what I mean? It's good.
It's a polycule, a wrestlecule. If you...
Yeah, that's right. It's a wrestle polycule. That's what it is. It's fine. We're good. Tomorrow is the Elimination Chamber in Chicago. And this is your go home. And you know what they said to Jey Uso? They said go home.
It's not you, Oos. Get out of here. It's not you, Oos. To quote Drew, one word, 4 letters. Nah, Drew.
I will fully cop to when I saw them start SmackDown tonight with Jey Uso being loaded into an ambulance. I laughed out loud.
Same. I quite enjoyed this. I was sports entertained by this.
I know, okay, Bronson Reed got injured during the final qualifying match for the Chamber. He was supposed to win. They had Jey Uso pin Chad Gable in a lucha mask. And but they were like, that wasn't the plan. So much so was it not the plan that we have to write him out of the Chamber. Like, he could easily have been in the pod, gotten a crazy ovation from the crowd, run it back in the Chamber. You know what I mean? He could be like he could have been one of the first 2 guys to start out. He could have been pinned before anybody else got out of their pods. You know what I mean? You could have done that, but they were like, no, we have a very important thing we have to run with the Vision in the Chamber. And so we have to figure out a way to get him the heck out of there and put in everybody's favorite dude. But we'll talk about that later. Please get in your super chats. Get in your humper chats. If you have things you want to chat about. That's the place to do it. One of those 2 places, and then we will read it on the air and we will discuss. Lance Velasquez says, found SmackDown kind of boring tonight. The way they do these shows, you would think there isn't a PLE coming up in less than 24 hours. So yeah, it was kind of ho-hum. There were a couple of times where we're like, back from commercial, 2 unrelated backstage segments. Half of an entrance, back to commercial.
And it was better this week, because before it would normally be come out, cut to commercial, then we do the segment, then we do another segment, then the person comes out. This time we got the person came out, a relevant segment, then the other person came out. Listen, it's the bar's in hell, but it was better. It was better. I noticed.
All right. That's good. That's good to know. That's good. Wow. Yeah. By the way, nothing's wrong with Kate. She's got the night off. She will be back tomorrow on Fightful Select. Subscribe to Fightful Select. You get all the amazing scoops. There's going to be so many scoops with the Elimination Chamber, you guys. We have a crazy few weeks coming up. We got the Elimination Chamber this week. We got the NXT Vengeance Day, the PLE, and the PC, which everything's going great there. And then the following weekend, we have AEW Revolution. So this is a fantastic time to subscribe to Fightful Select. So many scoops from all of the companies, TNA included, New Japan, all that kind of stuff. A lot of contracts being moved around, maybe free agency, stuff like that. So yes, please subscribe to Fightful Select. And on that very Patreon, you can find me and Kate reviewing the Elimination Chamber tomorrow. So that should be a lot of fun.
There's no Collision post show tomorrow since we're talking about that. I'm going to be out celebrating Pokemon Day.
As well you should. So they did start SmackDown with Jey Uso on a gurney being pushed into an ambulance, and everybody going, "What the hell's going on? Nick Aldis, what have you done?" Like, Cody is just livid. Jacob Fatu goes with him in the ambulance to the local medical facility. We see more of Jacob Fatu later. Everyone's like, "What are we gonna do now? Is he out of the chamber? Nick Aldis, you have to decide these things." And then Drew McIntyre comes out of the crowd like, "I had absolutely nothing to do with that. Just the way I said, I had absolutely nothing to do with Jacob Fatu. And honestly, they've never really said whether or not I actually had anything to do with that. So maybe they'll get around to finding out who attacked Jay sometime in 2028. But it's true. When Jacob Fatu maintains that it was Drew McIntyre, but there's still been no evidence. And we got Wade Barrett every week being like, "Drew McIntyre says he didn't do it, so I believe him." Like, eventually have to say, do a rest investigation.
Oh, I already am, because the same person who attacked him is the same guy who hit old boy with the pie, Kevin Owens, and we still don't know who did that. I'm sorry, right. I'm have to be up in your business, Triple H, because the lies gotta stop.
Yeah, he cut a promo about how he didn't do it, and Trick Williams is there, Javon Evans is there, but then Cody comes out. He's really angry. He takes off his ridiculous suit coat and he takes off his tie and he throws his tie down and he goes into the ring. And hold on, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it. The exact wording he used to talk to Drew McIntyre, I wrote it down. He says, "You disengaging, recreant, witless Scottish oaf." Somebody got Cody a thesaurus for Christmas.
I mean, he said the catchphrase, "Enough."
He called him a disengaging, recreant, witless Scottish oaf.
I know he just called him a little bitch, but you're right. He did say that.
He said that first, and he said, "You're always leaving," because Drew's like, "Well, I can tell where I'm not wanted. I'll just leave." And he says, then he calls him the disengaging, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, "You're always running away like a little bitch." And then he is interrupted by Randy Orton, who doesn't like that Drew claymored him to cost him the match with Aleister Black, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. None of this makes a lot of sense. Unless they're going to say everybody who Drew doesn't want to face at WrestleMania will just get put in a match with him at WrestleMania. I just feel like that's something they might just do. And then Trick interrupts and gets a huge ovation. They're still it seems to be intent on making him like heelish, even though the crowd like we love this dude. They so badly want to say lemon pepper steppers. The crowd wants so badly to say it, and they won't let them because he always gets interrupted before he's about to say lemon pepper steppers.
It's rude at this point. I mean, you know what? I also take it as WWE. Remember, AEW is not competition. However, they do have a really cool heel by the name of MJF. No matter what he said, he literally called someone's dead parent a crackhead, and they still cheered him. So if we get a cool heel, no matter how much the children yearn for the minds, you're gonna get Trick Williams as a heel. Until you actually want him as a heel, then he's gonna go face. Because you, that's why.
Yeah. Javon interrupts Trick. He does a little funny thing where he slaps him in the back of the head as he skips to the ring. LA Knight interrupts everybody. Cuts an LA Knight promo. And then he and Trick Williams start brawling, and Javon is standing there, just standing right there, right next to Randy Orton, like Javon Evans never watched an episode of SmackDown in his life. And so Randy Orton's like, well, while you're there, I might as well. And hits him with the RKO. And Javon sold it pretty well. He sold it like he died. Like he just went. He sold it like Johnny Gargano planking on things. And then Cody and Randy like stared each other down like, yes, only one of us can win the chamber. Old friend. And it's like, okay, fine. I was really surprised they didn't do a big, like, can they coexist tag team match or something? Like all 5 of these guys versus the MFTs. You know what I mean? They didn't do that. So I'm happy they didn't do it, but yeah, I guess they had other things.
I was gonna say the MFTs, you want to see that?
No, I didn't want to see it. I was surprised they didn't do it.
You was ready for that tag team player. I mean, his opening segment I thought was interesting. I will say that because we haven't had something that was just straight up plunder. My first mind when somebody hit Jey Uso was like, I did it for The Rock. I'm like, nah, that's not gonna happen. But I'm just a carny piece of shit. So I thought it was fine. I don't know what Cody's supposed to be. Is Cody supposed to be like the parent who's just had enough? Because I don't know, man. I feel like you're forcing us to see another Cody main event. And I like Cody, but like, at least be subtle.
Like, well, they're doing some subtle stuff with him. I just don't think that they think it. I don't think that they think they're doing it. Like, everything that Sammy said to Cody last week was true. And they're positioning Sammy to be the one who's out of line for telling him the truth. That's the way they want it to be seen. So that's the way they're presenting it. But Cody absolutely did screw Sammy in that match. It was like, well, Drew took out my main competition. I'm gonna take out Sammy. I'm gonna get in that chamber because all I care about is getting my title back. Because I think WWE thinks that we want to see more Cody versus Drew. That we haven't seen that enough over the past 11 months. And we need to see it one more time on the grandest stage of them all. And I really feel like we don't. We're probably going to get, he's going to win the chamber. But we'll be very lucky if we get Drew versus Cody versus blank versus blank versus blank. You know what I mean? Like a bigger match out of it. It is, Cody is maximum insufferable right now as this guy who's just so full of himself,
Yeah, I'll take it even one step further. I don't even want to low-key blame Cody because when you said he's super insufferable, I'm like, that's not. Yep, this is Roman Reigns. This is Roman Reigns 2018, 2019. Bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. Like, I don't think to quote unquote it's Cody's fault, But because there is that John Cena vacuum of babyface, you are
Mm-hmm.
forcing it on Mr. Take It All Away. And I think he's great. He's more nuanced than that. But the more you force feed it, unfortunately, and this is just, maybe it's just me, Cody sometimes when he tries to be serious just comes off goofy.
Yeah.
and it'll always backfire because sometimes you need him to be super serious and he tries, but it just comes off goofy. Not even goofy, just goofy. And it's like I can't. And it's worse when you have a cool heel like Drew. Yeah. Yeah, it does come off a little goofy. I like carny bullshit. Let me be for real. I like carny bullshit. But that being said, if the story you're trying to tell is this, it doesn't work with Cody because there's an edge to him that I only seen when he tore his pec in that match, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. Ricardo Holt, member for 60 months. Thank you so much for being a member for 5 whole years. Ricardo says, hello, Sour King and Sour Cresta. Hello, lovelies.
What up?
Hello to you, Ricardo. Thank you so much. Anthony Velasquez says, they aren't even trying to hide that Cody is definitely winning tomorrow and nobody else in the chamber match has interacted with Drew. Except for Randy being, like, Claymored randomly. I think, though, that is, like, supposed to be the red herring. As though, well, maybe it's Randy. And I don't feel like I do think we're getting kind of it's a very good chance we are getting a random surprise winner in the Elimination Chamber for the women. So I think that they're definitely doing obviously it's Cody finish for the men.
The only other person I could see it being, maybe just to extend Drew's run, unfortunately, would be Trick Williams. Trick Williams right now is so hot, but then Trick Williams has to lose. He has to lose, and men don't like that.
Yeah, no. He, like, another guy who's gonna continue to be monumentally over is LA Knight. Yeah. I would rather see an LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre match than a Cody versus Drew McIntyre match if they're gonna just do one-on-one. And hell, like, have LA Knight win it. He doesn't have to keep it long. He can lose it by Backlash. But, like, you want to do moments? The crowd in Vegas would go insane if they watched LA Knight win the title. Like, they would go insane. So
no, I agree with that. Keep it just for the moment, and it'd be fresh. And even if he loses it to Cody, I guess because we're in the era of everyone has to hold the title for 873 days.
I know.
Sometimes you can hot potato it if it makes sense. If it makes sense that the top of your card is as stacked as you say it is, why not? So,
Meet Enormous says, of course I didn't watch SmackDown, but here for you people, let's crank. What's it gonna take for a Cresta puppet or a burn notice review? I don't know about a Cresta puppet. I don't know if we can get Sean to pop for another puppet. But the burn notice review, I'm not the one. On the record, I am not the one saying no burn notice review. My partner in crime, Kate, is the one saying no burn notice review.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a TV show. It's a 2.5 out of 5-star TV show that was on USA for years. In one episode, The Big Show guest starred, which means it is eligible for us to review because it has a wrestler in it. She says, no, I won't review Burn Notice. I'm like, I mean, we've reviewed worse things than that. But she gets veto power, so there you go. That's the way it's going to work, apparently. Well. Kairi Sane and Asuka interrupt Tiffany. I love Kathy Kelly's line of questioning. Wow, we saw what happened with Jey Uso. After witnessing such brutality, does it make you question getting into the Elimination Chamber tomorrow night? And Tiffany should have been like, what are you talking about? How are those things related in any way? Like, it's not like Jey Uso was attacked by the Elimination Chamber and now it's got a taste for blood. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here? So she's like, oh yeah, it was really terrible what happened to Jey, but I'm gonna win the chamber. And then here comes Asuka and says, you're not winning for Asuka. Asuka's gonna win. and then says, okay, well, then meet me in the ring tonight. And Kairi Sane says, are you a jellyfish? Because Tiffany was wearing a skirt that did make her look like a jellyfish.
I love it when wrestlers say stupid shit. And it's Kairi saying it like, are you a jellyfish? Like, yo, and then Asuka, Kairi, come on, let's go. Like, free my girl Kairi Sane, though, because Asuka's free my girl Kairi Sane. But also, I don't know, man. I do agree, because when Kathy Kelly did that, it's like, wow, such brutality. So Tiffany Stratton, do you like, girl, like, try? I know it's written that way, so I can't be mad. I can't be mad. I can't be mad. No, it's not the worst I've seen.
Yeah. We had our first match of the night. It is Uncle Howdy and Solo Sikoa. This was the one that when I agreed to host the show in Kate's stead tonight, she was like, I'm so sorry you have to watch Solo Sikoa versus Uncle Howdy. And I was like, honestly, it's not the worst thing I've had to watch for this channel. So it was whatever it was. They're feuding over the custody of a lantern. And Uncle Howdy won. He hit the Sister Abigail. But then here comes Talatonga's Bigfoot, who kicks him in the face, and they steal the lantern and run away. So, I guess the MFTs still have custody, and possession is 9/10 of the law. So this interminable feud will continue going forward.
I'm gonna start with the nice things that I like.
Okay.
Start there. I'm happy to see Bo Dallas on TV. Always going to be happy to see him on TV.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely heard the Brody Lee, yeah chants. Yes. Mm-hmm. Always going to love the tributes. I do think that, that's all my nice stuff. I'm going to say this. This is the nicest mean thing. I hate those dreads attached to that mask, because it doesn't do anything, and it looks worse. It looks worse. It looks like rope. It doesn't look good. Someone needs to reimagine that, or you need to go see an actual cosmetologist. I hate it. It looks like rope. I hate it.
I think they need to make the dreads closer to his actual hair color, or change his hair color to match the dreads.
Or don't do the dreads. Just a thought.
I get it. I get it. But the thing that to me makes it stand out so much is because the dreads are white and his hair is dark brown. So like
and it's just a line straight across.
If they were similarly colored, I don't feel like it would look like rope. It would just look like part of the whole thing. But I agree, it is noticeable.
It's rough. Woo. And there's a lot of people who look good. So when you don't look good, it looks rough. I don't understand after the match, if this was the match for the custody of the lantern, why the MFTs were allowed to take it again. I saw in chat, put the lantern on a pole at WrestleMania. I would like for the Wyatt Six to go back to being mysterious and about their business and get out of this goofy shit, whatever we're going on with Solo Sikoa and the MFTs. Put Solo Sikoa in a situation where he can shine. I said it last week and I'm going to say it again. It's okay for the Samoans and the Tongans to be funny because they're legitimately funny people. Yes, let him be funny. This serious thing is just not working. Tama Tonga, seen him in New Japan. Let him be serious. Mm-hmm. Why? I try not to get mad because if you can't do what a wrestler does, shut the fuck up. And that's what I try to do. But also at the same time, it's like both of these guys look goofy. Both of these guys, both teams look goofy. You're fighting over a lantern when literally a year and some change ago, you kidnapped the Miz. What are we doing here? And if I'm the MFTs, if I'm going to be serious, why didn't you take his mask? Why haven't you tried to do? There's no playhouse. I just feel like we're feuding for feuding's sake. And both teams seem leaderless. And these guys are fighting for who's the worst leader. And I don't know if it's their fault, the writing's fault, or if this is just a bunch of guys who are mid-card and we're just trying to find something for y'all to do.
Before the Wyatt Six became tag champs, SmackDown had a dynamite tag scene. Motor City Machine Guns. Then they threw Fraxium in there. Obviously, DIY is no longer a tag team, but like that was going great. You had Los Garza was able to get in there and do stuff. Like the Street Profits put out an APB on the damn Street Profits. And then they were like, okay, we're going to put the tag titles on the Wyatts, and they're just going to hold them and do nothing with them except for feud with, at times, Tongaloa. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I just feel like they could be doing things that are good with the tag titles, and they decided not to, like, because that's not a thing that they want to do. They don't want to have that. Like, I would think that like putting together some pretty awesome 9-minute tag sprints between all of these really good tag teams in like a mini round robin kind of a thing to see who gets the tag title shot. You could do fun stuff and eat up some of that 3-hour time that you got every Friday. But they appear to like, no, we would rather not do fun things to watch.
No, truly. And that's what, again, I think that this could work. It could absolutely work, but I think that there is an element of forced seriousness on both teams, where there is a world where the MFTs can still be like this mafia type bloodline light, but okay, I'm gonna just say it. It's Black History Month. I'm going out with a bang. If you're gonna make them YNs, at least let them be fucking funny. You know what I mean? If we're gonna copy the homework, at least let them be authentic and funny. And I know authenticity is gonna be a rough word for you. Well, if these guys are gonna be spooky, you know what I mean? At least let them lean into House of Black or lean into what they were before. I understand that there's also a void missing because without Bray Wyatt, he was it was in his dark, twisted mind that it all made sense. So now trying to piece it together, it doesn't make sense. But I think that there is a way, but you have to let these people be themselves. I'm pretty sure Bo got it in him, but you guys are trying to force him down a specific path and it's not translating. It's giving kind of goofy, not all the way, but goofy Ministry of Darkness. Like it's giving silly, it's giving shenanigans at this point. And I want more for them. And I think you guys want more for them. But in order for that to work, I think you can seriously let the MFTs be funny. Like, be funny when I get back. You're funny. Be funny when I get back. Might as well let them do it. But also, I've seen what your writers' room looks like. I can't expect too much.
No, it is very funny because there was a bit of a Freudian slip there because you did say whiter's room instead of writer's room.
D'Lo Brown there. D'Lo doing a good job. D'Lo doing But I think that's part of the problem. There's no perspective besides this is what we want. And then you tell us fans, we don't know what we want. Okay.
Yeah. Nick officially tells Drew, you have to leave. And Drew says, I will leave. And I will definitely not be coming back by the end of the night. And, oh my God, look who's here. It's what remains of the Vision. Braun Breaker out. Bronson Reed out. All that's left is Paul Heyman, the world's biggest douchebag, and Austin Theory.
The worst parts, except for Paul Heyman, of the Vision is like the Vision is blind. This is a blind man.
They desperately need a trip to Lens Crafters. So like, so they say, well, we're here to save your whole thing. Because obviously now you need somebody to, take Jey Uso's spot. So how about Logan Paul? And Logan Paul says, I'll show you why I should be in there. And he makes a muscle, and then he tells Nick Aldis to kiss it.
I just know his armpits stink.
Oh yeah. No, that guy has smelled like Axe body spray since 2013.
Oh. I know exactly the smell you're talking about. Mixed with sometimes jupe, and it's just like, bro, just take a shower.
So, Nick Aldis says that's very enticing, but there's politics, so I'll take it under advisement. I'll make some calls, and I'll let you know later. But like Austin Theory did send something, I think, on Instagram of like him like basically stalking Jey Uso as Jey Uso was in the in the weight room. Says interesting in his little post. So, and he was also very angry, and so and Paul Heyman's like, hey, mind your temper, and Austin's like, I don't like that guy. And so I think we're gonna get that, like Austin Theory was the one that took out Jay. Maybe seems like he was trying to pitch himself as the guy who took out Jay, but who knows? I don't know. Like, because here's the thing, Jay and Jimmy are nominally Raw guys, and so are the Vision. So like, you can continue all of that post Mania. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you could do not that I want to see this, but you could do a Logan and Austin Theory versus the Usos tag team title feud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it. If you're gonna force it to us, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I'll also say this.
So
why Logan Paul just gets to say, well, because I'm confident I get to be in it, and that's why I'm gonna win.
Mm-hmm. No. He said because because I just sold the world's most expensive Pokemon card, I should be in Elimination Chamber.
Isn't he getting sued for? No, I don't want to get sued either. How does you selling a Pokemon card have to do with you doing, a tumble, a Tope Suicida, a Juju Katami? Listen, I play League of Legends, so that's how I know that I'm about to win the Elimination Chamber tomorrow. I work for Fightful, so therefore, ergo, I know so much about wrestling. I'm about to pin Rhea Ripley. She'll never see it coming. John Cena. Prove me wrong. You can't. You can't.
Oh boy. They interview Rhea and Io, and they're like, "Hey, so Rhea, you're in the chamber tomorrow. How is it possible that your focus is split between your tag team title match tonight and your match in the chamber tomorrow?" And listen, I'm incredibly pro LGBTQ, and A, all of them, plus as well, all of it. But it is awkward when Io and Rhea, who, as far as we know, aren't that, are literally draped all over each other at all times. I've seen a lot of women's tag teams, and they don't behave this way. Like just Io is just leaning back with her head on Rhea's bosoms during this whole interview, and I was just like, I don't understand why they're presented that way. It just feels weird. They don't come off as best friends who used to be rivals. They come off as like
secret lovers.
That is exactly how they come
That's
off.
What you are.
It always feels like, well, I mean, we have the opportunity many times for women who are queer have come and said, I would like to do a series. I would like to present this on screen, and you have told them no. But here you have two women who presumably aren't, and you're like, yeah, do that, and it just feels weird.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say I blame myself and other fans like me, because Rhea Ripley for the past 2 years, the bi panic has been insane. Yes, everyone's like, bi panic. But she's straight. And now WWE is like, but you like girls, don't you? Don't you want to see more of it? And it's like, nah. When you do it, WWE, it's weird. When Rhea's just winking and pinning women suggestively, it's great. But when you force feed it, it's like when cops stop making the jokes that you guys make. I don't want to do. The cops are doing it now. Ooh.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Agreed. Then Jade Cargill comes up and says, nobody's gonna have your back in the chamber tomorrow, Rhea. So we're interacting pretty much for the first time. So how's it going? And this is just man. More and more, literally every week, it feels like a giant mistake to have put the title on Jade Cargill.
I have decided to turn over a new leaf, like I did with Charlotte Flair. And I'm only going to talk positively about Jade.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's free. That bob tonight, wow, it was cut at the chin. Her bob tonight was great.
Her bob looked amazing. Her bob looked amazing.
Listen, I said this before, and then maybe it's your first time hearing me say it, but I'll say it again. At first, I was mad. I think I went through all 7 stages of grief, and now I'm at acceptance.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point where it's like, well, if we can find a program for Ms. Dad and have it not be bad, you can find a program for Jade. You just don't want to try. And much like with Ronda, you'd rather let the woman take the heat rather than someone like the Miz or a man who cannot wrestle. So I want to be mad, but at the same time, I've seen people who literally have how Eddie Kingston ain't got no business being here, and neither do you. No. How did you get here? How did you get? But there's a program behind you, and they'll make you look good, Logan Paul, no matter how crappy. Oh, because he could do a little flippy flip. Okay, you know what I mean? So when there's a program behind you, you can do no wrong. But when they want you to sink or swim, specifically when you're a woman,
so that is true. They have not done her any favors with the booking.
But also remember when they said she was trained poorly, and who was training her in AEW?
I mean, yeah.
What's happening?
They did say she was trained poorly 2.5 years ago, and you would think that they have such great trainers here that they would have fixed all those mistakes by now, but so far, not so good. This is the point here where we got after the Vision comes to SmackDown interlude, commercial, come back from commercial, interview Rhea and Io, then Jade talks to them. Is that where this happened? No, yeah. And then we cut to Jacob Fatu, apparently back from the local medical facility. It's like, he's not doing too good, which is why I left him there alone. And Nick Aldis, he says, Nick Aldis, you should put me in the chamber because you have a Drew McIntyre problem and I have a problem with Drew. So that's why I should be in the chamber. And Nick Aldis says, it's very good, but there's politics. I got to take it under advisement. I'll make some phone calls. And then we see that Jelly Roll is in attendance. Jelly Roll, of course. Jelly Roll is in 2K26.
Wow.
Jelly Roll is a playable character. He is overall 80. His rating is an 80. Would you like to guess as to who is a 78?
Honestly, once you told me Jelly Roll's an 80, I could care less what that game got going on. I'm going to be real with you. I could care less. I seen the match.
Javon Evans is a 78. And Jelly Roll is an 80.
Okay, so what you're saying is, you know what I understood is that there's a chance for Cresta, no matter how bad my knees are, there's a chance.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Listen. Okay, there's a chance. Hey, there's a chance.
Always a chance. Then we see that Chelsea Green is coming out for commentary. Tiffany Stratton comes out. And then we go back to commercial. So we were at commercial. We came back. We did nothing, basically, and back to commercial. And then Chelsea Green is on commentary. Again, Joe Test keeps saying, why? Why are you out here? And it's just because she doesn't like Tiffany. Tiffany is going to face Asuka, but then Asuka comes out and says, I'm not dumb. I'm taking the night off so I can rest up for my match at Elimination Chamber tomorrow. You'll be facing Kairi Sane. And and the Kairi Sane and Tiffany had a good little match. There was a crazy DDT spot on the apron that looked like it was destined to kill one or both of them. And but eventually Tiffany does get the victory over Kairi Sane, with Chelsea on the outside ending up like she's wearing a walking boot in a wheelchair, and Kairi Sane jumps off the top rope and lands directly on Chelsea Green, and then she's lying there, and Alba Fire is holding her foot, and it's hilarious. So before tonight, it looked like the most logical person to win the Elimination Chamber and face Jade was Tiffany, to get a shot at the title that Jade took from her. Not that I want to see more of those matches, because I've had my fill, but that did seem like the person that had the most reason to win the Chamber and face Jade at Mania. Mm-hmm. It feels like they're pivoting hard and trying to do something radically different. So yeah, I like Tiffany. I think you got to actually really give her a reason to be, as opposed to like just a person, you know. So we'll see where they go with her. If they end up not doing her for a title at Mania, like what do you do with her? She's got star written all over her, but they've kind of like, she was out for such a long time, and then she's come back and she feels like, I'm in the upper midish card. You know,
there's a way for. I think this is also my problem with like Jade and Michin and B-Fab. You can have these people wrestle each other, but you have to have them at least have a spirited bout or some sort of, even if they lose, let them look strong in defeat. So to Jade's point, it sucks that your champion is wrestling people like Michin, no shade, love her, but she don't win. Zelina Vega, no shade, but she don't win. B-Fab, no shade, but she don't win. You don't even got them beating up local talent anymore. And it even goes, I'll even take it one step further for this match. I feel like if Chelsea Green was not out there for this match would have been wah, wah. I remember more of the commentary, Tacky Time, Nicholas Prickles, P-Head Pierce. I remember more of that than what was actually going on in the match. Sure, when Tiffany pushed Kairi off the edge, it was gnarly. But if you want someone like Tiffany to look strong or whatever it is, Julia's right there. Have them put on a match. Even if Tiffany loses, that's still something where Julia's elevated and I think Tiffany's elevated because they're both on the same level of star power. But if you have them beating people respectfully to Kairi, who was that girl maybe 4 years ago? Now you've neutered her so much to the point where it's like, if I'm going against Kairi, I know I'm winning. No shade. And that never used to be the case. So it just kind of sucks when I think about like Tiffany Stratton, like what are we going to do with her? It's okay to put her in the backseat, but the women's tag team division with being so heavy top loaded, and now that Rhea's going to be out of it, maybe you slot Tiffany in there, but Tiffany don't get along with nobody. Julia versus Tiffany Stratton, you could do that. I don't think Tiffany right now should go to the top of the card because that's about to get really crowded again. They've already broke up one of the tag team, RHIYO. And I'm not saying they're going to break up, but they're probably going to try to get the tag titles back, lose on that defense, and then be done. And honestly, truly, I heard the Iconics are coming in. And who better to take it off of than not the Bougie Bullies no more. What's their name now? Oh, my God.
No, the Iconics are going to AEW.
Wait, are they? I don't know anything. I don't watch wrestling. I'm sorry. What are we even talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. Listen, but like, here's the deal though. If you do know anything about wrestling and you think that maybe you know so much about wrestling that you think that maybe if there was a website you could place bets on wrestling and make money, then there is a website like that where you could use your knowledge of wrestling, and the name of that website is MyBookie AG.
MyBookie AG is where Fightful is getting all of our odds, not just pro wrestling, which, yeah, you can bet on pro wrestling, UFC, boxing. That's where we're getting our odds from. If you're watching In the Weeds and they're talking about basketball odds, it's going to be from MyBookie AG. Use the code FIGHTFUL, get a $50 bonus when you deposit $100, or get a $100 bonus when you deposit $200. Check it out. If you think you know more than the average wrestling fan, head over to MyBookie. They have some odds up all the time for upcoming events, whether it be WWE, AEW, anybody. Make sure you check them out in addition to their other fantastic deals. They've been around for quite a while, very reliable. MyBookie AG. Use that code FIGHTFUL. Now, only bet what you can, and please bet responsibly, but head over, see what lines they got now. Not just for pro wrestling. Maybe you're interested in baseball, football, basketball, soccer, or just football again, right? MyBookie AG.
MyBookie AG is a good place to bet on wrestling or floorball.
Not me trying to eat a snack during a commercial. Almost choking to death.
So Aldis walks into his office, and here are Paul Heyman and Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and he says, "Hey, yes, you will be in the chamber, Logan Paul, if you can beat Jacob Fatu in the main event tonight."
But he believes in himself, Alex. And if he believes, he's going to beat Jacob Fatu. And if I believe in myself, one day I'm going to be... No, let me say it like Bailey back in the day. And one day I'm going to be your next champion. I believe.
But do you have a very expensive Pokemon card to sell?
There's a joke in there, but far be it for me to say it.
So the Miz and Oba Femi have a little skit. the Miz comes out. He doesn't. Then here comes Oba, and the Miz goes and gets a microphone, and he's like, we shouldn't fight. And as he gets in the ring, Oba steps on Oba's microphone, and he says, "Get your own microphone." And then he does, and he gets it, and then they have a thing like, I will be your mentor. We shouldn't fight. We should be friends, and I will teach you all of the ropes. I will teach you because I'm the great veteran. Let me be your Undertaker. And Oba says, "I do not see resemblance, but I am looking at a dead man."
Your camera froze for me, Alex. You're frozen in place.
A thing with I know it's. Hello?
You're back now. Hey, Laval, let's go.
Good. Yes. Okay. I don't know. The computer was doing something and now it's not anymore. Okay, so Oba is doing something on Raw with Rusev that is way more compelling to me than whatever he's doing on SmackDown with Miz. I like seeing Oba twice a week, but he should be in a real story with somebody, like a real thing. Like, let him sink his teeth into something. And I don't think we're lucky enough to have that unless they decide, oh, out of the blue, you're facing Brock Lesnar. You know, like I don't think that that's anything that, like, if he might that might be his Mania match, and also he might not have a Mania match. Like, they may draw. He's been presented with a contract from Raw and a contract from SmackDown. I feel like there's got to be a clause in the contracts that say this contract becomes null and void after 30 days. You know what I mean? Pick one. One of them wants you to have matches with Rusev, and the other one wants you to have a storyline with The Miz where you perform skits. I feel like the Rusev one feels like more fun for Oba.
This was garbage. I'm not gonna hold you. This was garbage. Was this funny? Yes. But I think about how you spent at least a solid month and a half with presenting him as a menace. Kit Wilson, okay, was kind of funny. Another week in a row, not funny. Tell jokes, not funny. That's where I'm at. You know what this reminds me of? That one guy who was coming to Raw and then never came and he got lost. It wasn't Indusher. It was somebody else.
Veer.
Yeah.
It was Veer.
He was coming and he came and went. At least we got this guy here sooner. But to put him in skits after you present him as a fucking menace, please, very respectfully, please. I don't want to see that. I'd rather you see Black, Priest, Rusev. So give me some beefy, even him and Ilya Dragunov. You're building. If this is the guy that's supposed to go against Brock, very respectfully. Sorry, Miz fans. He's about to get it. I don't want to see him in no damn match with no damn Miz. I don't want to see that. To me, when you're in a match with a Miz, you're mid-card for life, bro. I don't want to see that. Not for someone that looks like Oba Femi. You literally have his shot in the ring where you turn down the lights, have the light behind him, and have him look statuesque. For him to go and do comedy, he's funny, yes, but I don't want to see that, Alex.
No, I agree. The thing about the match that they had was that he was incredibly dominant, and like the Miz doesn't get squashed anymore.
Yeah,
when he fights a guy who you think this guy should beat the Miz in about 2 minutes, it's an 8 to 12 minute match. They just had him get beat down. Like,
you see the way he tossed the Miz, like he was a bad child getting thrown on a bed. What?
He stopped a skull crushing finale. Just said, "Nope, we're not going." Then turned around and looked at him and yelled, and then picked him up and heaved him, and then the big fall from grace powerbomb wins it. Like it's a squash. My thing is that if you're gonna have him go after Brock Lesnar, he should be stepping to everybody Rusev and above in size.
Mm-hmm.
Like he should be beating all the big boys. Like a guy who if he's gonna be on SmackDown and he's gonna like do some matches, have him run afoul of Tala Tonga. You know what I mean? Put him in there, and like Tala Tonga he's just security for the MFTs, but I don't think he's taken a loss yet. So have the first loss be to Oba Femi. When Oba Femi, I want to see how far Oba Femi can throw Tala Tonga, because I would like
to see that.
I know it's further than 5 to 10 feet. I want to see what that is. I want to see how that goes. You know what I mean? Like that could be fun. Anybody who's decent size, have him do it. You know, it's
like with Claudio Castagnoli and the big swing. The bigger the opponent, the more I want to see what's about to happen.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to see more of what they do with Oba Femi. The fact that Brock Lesnar comes out and just announces on Raw, I'm having an open challenge at Mania, but also he's going to be on 5 straight episodes of Raw. I don't think Brock Lesnar has ever been on 5 straight episodes of Raw. Like, they are burning up all of his appearance dates. Like 5, he might not be on 5 episodes of Raw in a full year.
I'm about to say, not a full year.
He's on in 5 in a row, and he's building to an open challenge. Not like I'm building a feud with somebody. I'm building to an open challenge. How do you build to an open challenge? By appearing on Raw 5 weeks in a row, unless you're just going to come out and then have Paul Heyman cut the same promo for you 5 weeks in a row. This is not.
I can only respond in song, Alex. And the song I got is, well, I can't go for that. No. Said I can't go for that.
No can do. Nope, we're done. We don't want to do that anymore. Carmelo Hayes is like, Ilya Dragunov, why aren't you in your gear to answer the open challenge? We talked about this. I'm going to have an open challenge, and you're going to answer it, which makes it no longer an open challenge. However, Dragunov is in his suit, and he says, I lost to Tama Tonga last week. I don't deserve to face you for the US title. But you go out there and you're going to win. And Carmelo's like, stop giving me pep talks. Give yourself a pep talk. Come out here later. Let's do it. So, I mean, all right. And then we're like, okay, well, we're not getting Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov. Who are we getting? And it's Matt Cardona. And I was like, that is a downgrade. I do indeed like Matt Cardona, but it doesn't give me the same, excitement of a Carmelo versus Ilya match.
Of Matt Cardona. He looks like a wrestler straight out the 80s. He should be with the Outrunners, but not too much of Matt Cardona, please.
Yeah. And also he controlled almost all of this match. Carmelo looked in more danger versus Cardona than he's looked against most of his opponents as US champion. And he had a really slick out of nowhere first 48 to get the win. And Cardona took it in stride, got up, held his hand up, and it's, apparently, again, I've refrained from watching SmackDown the past few weeks. Apparently there's a weird little mini mid-card, like, babyface guys who hang out that includes Dragunov, Cardona, and Apollo Crews.
Yeah. Hey, I think sometimes Dragon leaves with them sometimes.
Ray Phoenix is with it.
Sorry. There's a lot of luchadors. I apologize.
I'm sorry. Did they put the roster on shuffle? Like, what are we doing putting all of these guys together at random?
I forgot why they came out, because somebody was beating up somebody, and then Matt Cardona came out, then Apollo Crews, or Ray Phoenix came out first, then Matt Cardona, then Apollo Crews, and I'm like, Apollo Crews still working? Like, I don't know, man. This is the undercard, and they just be doing stuff. Catering crew. Bit. I'm sorry.
I mean, it was a fine little match, but like wasn't anything. And Carmelo doesn't seem to have. Well, we have a month and a half, maybe even 7 weeks after Elimination Chamber to give Carmelo an actual thing to do at WrestleMania that is not open challenge.
Alex,
it very well may
it's going to be Johnny Gargano. Stop it.
Well, it could be. It could be. I don't know. We'll talk more about what's going on with Johnny Gargano, but the storyline seems to be Carmelo versus Ilya again, because that's the thing that they're. It also could be an 8-man ladder match. You know what I mean? Like there's things they're gonna do. Like the U.S. title. It's very odd to me that the U.S. title is like gets defended on TV every week thing, and the IC title, which used to be the workhorse title on Raw, like Dominic hasn't defended it since he won it back from John Cena at Survivor Series. I know he was out injured for a while, but like. Yeah, he hasn't defended it since then. So, like, but
God.
Also there was that weird little 2 weeks that John Cena was the IC champ. But if you take those 2 weeks out, Dominic has been the IC champ since Mania of last year. Like, he's basically gonna go a whole year as IC champ and only have defended it against Penta, Rusev once, maybe twice, and AJ Styles a couple of times, and then that John Cena weird thing. He's back to defending it against Penta next week. Like, the IC title could be used in much the same way that the US title is being used, but it's a Dominic prop.
Which is kind of sad, because I think it could put on a display for Dominic, even if he doesn't wrestle every week. That's not his character. But it could display people who are on the undercard of the roster. You could start new feuds with people, Penta and Dominic. I know you're not trying to wrestle him. I don't want to see him wrestle Eli Grande Americano, Alpha Bravo, Chink Cinco de Mayo. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that. I'm kind of over it. It was funny for like 10 minutes. And much like with the Wyatt 6, much like with the MFTs, you're dragging your nuts across glass, and I'm kind of over it. I go to the doctor. You need to go see a doctor about that at that point. So I don't know. You make a good point. Also, I wouldn't be upset, like you said, like a 8-man scramble. Hayes, Priest, Black. Who else is in the undercard that would be real cute to see? Even Oba, because you can screw Oba out of that and he won't look bad. You know what I mean? You could really screw him out of that. Guys, put in chat who you would like to see in a U.S. title 8-man. I'm sure Gargano would be in there. You got Rey Fenix probably. I mean, but that all just says Carmelo Hayes is going to win. We got to send a surprise. We got to put a surprise in there. We got to do something.
Like, it's possible if they don't have anything else for him bigger than that, Trick Williams is in it and he becomes the new U.S. champ. So,
and that's the feud they could reheat their own nachos with.
Yes. Yeah. Adam Pearce said, send the box to Chicago. We will open it at Elimination Chamber because it says do not open until 2/28/2026. Why is it in Louisville if he said send it to Chicago? I'm done with the box. I was done with the box when it first showed up. I'm done with the box.
You're about to get cursed, pal.
I like everybody says it's Danhausen, and what a silly thing. I mean, obviously Danhausen is silly, but like it does not feel like a Danhausen.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a Danhausen debut.
Also, Danhausen is half the size of the box. The box is gigantic. Why is the box so big if it's a 5'6" guy in there wearing vampire makeup? The box is Omos sized. Like you could stack 3 Danhausens on top of each other in a trench coat, and it would still have a foot clearance at the top of the box.
So which is worse, mini Danhausen big box, or Uncle Truth telling you that did you know you could sign up for ESPN on the ESPN app where you could watch Elimination Chamber this weekend? Sure. Go ahead and grab your phones and head over to your Play Store or your Google App Store or your Apple Store and go ahead, put in your code, and you can go to ESPN, and on the app you can watch Elimination Chamber for free.
This is the same crap they had him doing before the first PLE on ESPN, WrestlePalooza in September. And they're still having him come out and do the exact same thing. And apparently none of these guys have ever used the app to watch any of the product that they're in.
It is the way that when he did that, all I could think of is, me wrestler, ESPN, oh, so stupid caveman, me caveman,
Go to stream.espn.com.
We need to do that on Fightful. We need to start just doing it. Hey guys, did you know that if you're watching over?
Here's the other thing. You know what you don't have to do? You really don't have to go to stream.espn.com. You don't. You know what you should do? You should go to a different country via NordVPN.
I've told you about all the ways that NordVPN.com/Fightful is beneficial to wrestling fans. And that's just on the basic tier. It works on all devices, all operating systems, allows you to change your virtual location to appear from anywhere. But there's so many more other features. You can keep your files protected with a private cloud. You can secure your passwords with a password manager as well. They have cloud storage. They've got MeshNet where you can connect to a remote devices safely and create your own private network. They have VPN servers in 127 countries. They have Threat Protection Pro. You can block malware, trackers, and even ads when you're not connected to the VPN. It's got the ultra-fast connection, dedicated IP, a data breach scanner, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So for some reason you think you don't like it, you can get your money back. NordVPN.com/Fightful. Head over there, check out all of their incredible features and testimonials at NordVPN.com/Fightful.
Yeah.
Alex, I have to let you know the cat who slapped me last week is right here.
Oh my goodness.
She's going into business for herself because she's hungry. So if you see me getting abused, just avert your eyes.
Meet Norma says, if there's a golden egg in the box, I'm out of here. I mean, I don't know. It's possible. It's
Austin Theory's still here, so anything's possible.
Oh yeah. So Candice LeRae wheels Johnny Gargano face down, planking on a roadbox through the thing, and everyone points and laughs at Johnny Gargano. That man is obviously going through some stuff, and it does not help if his coworkers and erstwhile friends are pointing and laughing at him. And then Kit Wilson comes in, rightfully saying, maybe don't point and laugh at your coworker and supposed friend who's obviously going through some stuff right now, because that is, and the entire crowd says at the same time, toxic. Bruce Pritchard wants so badly for this guy to be the biggest heel on SmackDown. But the crowd is like, we really like him. You gave him a banger of a theme song. He's good in the ring. He's funny. We like him. And they're like, but no, don't you hate woke little soy boys? And they're like, not really. We don't give a shit either way.
Kit Wilson is true. I'm glad you called out because it's a boomer joke. And
it's such a boomer joke.
And they're not getting that he's so good that it's not even funny. It's kind of like when you try to put under Kevin Owens and Kevin Owens tells the truth.
A couple of weeks ago, I saw a clip of R-Truth making fun of him and saying he lost his manhood and he has a camel toe.
Yes.
That line was written by Bruce Pritchard. Like you don't like toxic masculinity and you're a man, therefore you must be a woman. Is a joke only written by Bruce Pritchard.
Listen, I know we after midnight. I'm gonna say it. I know a hating bitch when I see one. You wish you were a woman. You wish you were a woman. That's where it comes from. You wish you could wear your little mini skirt and have your titties around your neck, but alas, your name is Bruce.
McNorma says, Cresta, hair looks great. Alex, where's Alexi? He's back here. He is stoned out of his mind. He might be around tomorrow for the chamber review. We don't know. He's been out of it for a while. So Jordynne Grace has a match versus Candice LeRae, and Johnny Gargano is at ringside for it. By at ringside, he is planking on the announce table. Candice LeRae is doing very well against Jordynne Grace until Johnny Gargano randomly gets up and walks up the ramp, and she is so weirded out by this that she easily loses to Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace doesn't do the Juggernaut driver anymore. Now she's doing a bridging, like, pump handle suplex, which, I mean, that's cool that you did it, but like that doesn't feel like your finishing move.
Let her do the muscle buster, you cow. Samoa Joe doesn't even work here anymore. You won't let her have her theme song because Braun Breaker to another. Okay. Let her do the muscle buster. Because if she did the muscle buster on Jade or Rhea just for juxtaposition, I would cease to be. I would just pop and I would just cease to be. Literally, I would just let her do it, you cowards. And then this is the second person from TNA where I'm like, look what they've done to my boy. Motor City Machine Guns. I don't even want to speak. When I see them on the screen, like I saw them for that box, Alex almost pushed maybe that's why my computer broke because I was upset.
They're hanging out like the guys who are hanging out with Truth and being told how to use the ESPN app are Fraxium, who at this point last year were the best tag team in all of wrestling. And now they're hanging out with R-Truth being told how to use the ESPN app. Motor City Machine Guns, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and never been appreciated by the WWE fans. They made a giant mistake by coming here instead of going someplace else. Raymond Phoenix is out there just hanging out with Garza and RHIYO, and they're just like here, like R-Truth is able to here's how we get on TV. We get on TV because R-Truth is teaching us how to use the ESPN app.
You know, somebody cue. What was that? That New Clips album, By the Grace of God. Just somebody cue that song, because the more you talk, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it next week. So I just have to accept it. I have to accept it that Motor City Machine Guns free my boys until it's backwards. My boys are free. Come on.
Jade Cargill is talking to Raquel Rudd. Why is Raquel even here?
Stop.
Liv's not here. She was here like 2 weeks ago or whatever, or last week, whenever it was, when Liv was here to like, hey, am I going to choose you or am I going to choose whatever? And then Raquel went with her. But Liv's not here tonight. Why is Raquel even here? And Jade's like, if you win the chamber, I'm going to beat you up. And then Raquel's like, whatever, chica. And she leaves. And then here comes Michin and B-Fab. And they're like, well, you're not even going to make it to Mania because I, Michin, noted loser, and B-Fab, my sidekick, are going to beat you for the
loser.
Also, even more of a noted loser are going to beat you for that title before Mania. And I was like, when Michin accidentally got injured, it was one of those happy accidents where you don't have to continue with it. You could have pivoted to literally anything else, but you're like, no, this is the only person we have that Jade can beat between now and WrestleMania. And that's
not the only person, but did you know? That's the only person.
That's the they've decided. We need to have Jade beat Michin on the way to WrestleMania. We have to do it. We must. I'm like, you don't have to.
You know what it was? I made up my own theory. Is that Jade Cargill, her bob was activated tonight, so she was going around like the superhero lady from The Incredibles about, you ain't gonna do nothing with the, don't slap me because you're good for the slap. So she was going around with the bob just being a menace. And I think that somewhere, again, I've decided to turn a new leaf. I'm just gonna be a Jade apologist because why not? I think she does thrive when she's talking shit. I think there's an authenticity there that is like, she's a good talker.
I do think that. I think
maybe she can work on it, but she's good at getting under your skin.
Very good at talking shit. Yeah. Yes.
But I don't know, man. So. I think there's a world where you could have her win against someone who's good, like
somebody who's really, really good could carry her to a pretty good match, I think.
But like the fans may turn on her, and I think that's an issue.
Yes.
I think Rhea could carry her, but if Rhea loses to Jade, the fans are not going to have that. They're not going to have that. They're not going to have that.
No, they wouldn't have that. So Cody Rhodes comes up to Jacob Fatu and says, hey, I know we were mortal enemies 7.5 minutes ago, but I'm pulling for you tonight. And then he walks past Sami Zayn, and they have a very odd, quick handshake. And then Sami Zayn goes up to Jay's like, Jacob Fatu, and he says, hey, how's Jay doing? Not good. And I was like, hey, so I know I didn't do it, but I'm not so sure about you. You're the first one there. You going with him to the hospital. Him being out of the chamber means you have a shot to be in it, even though you lost the match. And he's I don't like that because listen, they started out that segment last week with Sammy talking to Cody and saying all correct things. And it was like, oh, I'm sorry. And here's the funny thing. In that segment where after he says all of that to Cody, and he hey, Cody, wait up. And he goes up and he apologizes to him. You can hear the crowd in the arena go, no, because they know, Sammy, you're right. And we would much rather see Cody slide more over into that role of being that stuck-up heel, then you have to be, gee, I'm so sorry. Like, you don't want to do that. So here he is calling out Jacob Fatu, and then Fatu says, Cody got hit with a Claymore, and then Drew got kicked me with a Claymore. He actually wants to face you because he beat you 12 times in a row. And then Sammy's like, yeah, you're right, Jacob. I'm sorry. I'm going through some stuff right now. And then Jacob leaves, and he turns over a table, and he just gets really, he's Sammy. And I think the best thing that we might have to look forward to, barring injury, maybe, just maybe, Sammy actually gets his due and wins the world title at Saudi Mania 2027. That might be as close as we can hope for something to actually happen. But between now and then, him like doing a crisis of conscience and like I suck, but I must not suck. So it has to be somebody else's fault and not mine. Who's like, here's the other thing. What is Bruce Pritchard writing him as? A whiny millennial. That's what he is. You blame everybody but yourself, Sami Zayn. If you just pulled yourself up by your own bootstraps, says Cody Rhodes in the voice of Bruce Pritchard, then you would see the only person standing in Sami Zayn's way is Sami Zayn. And I'm like, but like, that's not how wrestling works. And when Sami Zayn calls Cody Rhodes the golden boy, everybody who's watching goes, he is, though. He is. Even if you like Cody, you must acknowledge he's the chosen dude right now. And that's a real thing. And to like write Sami so that he doesn't know that, like,
man, where the fuck is Kevin Owens to slap his friend? That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at, because I think a heel Sammy could work, but a heel Sammy's not the one who's gonna win at Saudi. Writing him as a whiny, listen, I can understand apologizing, but apologizing because you're right doesn't make any sense. To have him lose his shit,
yeah,
it doesn't give layers. It doesn't give that dimension that you think it's giving. And let's just lean into it and say that this is you, Bruce Pritchard. How are you going to write a whiny millennial when you're old as dirt, bro? Like, let's be for real here. Write him like a boomer. That doesn't make any sense because it's not relatable. Why would he apologize? Why would you say your feelings and then apologize? Is that what you think millennials are? You think that's what's relatable content? Come on now. Come on now. Do you hear the crowd and say, these guys don't know what they want, but then we'll simultaneously tell them there's no viewing parties. You need to go pay $700 to go to my show. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Sammy could be more nuanced than that. Don't slap your sister. I'm sorry. The cats are getting into WrestleMania now over here. It's annoying. It's annoying in the sense that we know that Sammy is one of the great ones. I totally feel that Cody schmarmy that you're putting on Sammy should be on Cody. I agree with that, because Cody's presentation, you want to be a good guy so bad. But the fact that Homelander exists, people are immediately rejecting you. What's happening to Cody is eventually going to be that John Cena where people turn on him. And I like Cody. I think Cody's great. But much like Roman, you may not think so, but you are literally being forced on us. Yeah. Okay? And I get it. But that all-American goody two-shoes, this is not the 90s. And that's going to wear very thin, very fast. And a lot of people it's already wearing thin on, because Sammy's been the underdog since the underdog was the underdog, since the dog was a puppy, and people are tired of it. Drew, okay, you getting your just desserts. And I think the story they're trying to tell is once you become selfish, then you become champion. Look at Drew, always helping people. From whence he came, picking up Shane McMahon, being the muscle for him, to now being champion, kicking people and telling Nick Aldis to go pop, shove it. It's possible, but not the way you going. But the way that they're writing Sammy to try to make him become selfish, it's corny. It's very corny. In fact, it's cornier than him trying to convince the bloodline before it turned over to him being Sammy Uso. Yeah. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. You're right. We have new women's tag champions. This was a fun match with RHIYO being faster than them, but she gets into trouble because they're so big. And then Rhea Ripley at some point hurts her back. I missed how her hurting her back happened. But then she kept aggravating it by trying to lift all these very tall women who are very big and heavy. And in the end, Io hits her moonsault, and the pin gets broken up. Nia Jax hits. The ref decided that the non-legal woman could just be in the match. At some point during this match, the referee gave up trying to. This was a tornado tag for the last 4 minutes of the match. And that's not what the match was. Like, you have to get the person who's not the legal woman out of the match, and he refused to do so. So, like, Nia Jax runs in and breaks up the pinfall of Io onto Lash. Then she does the Annihilator onto Io, and then Lash crawls over and pins her. And then Rhea pulls Lash stops that from happening. But then she goes in, and Rhea's like, okay, so Rhea is so concerned with doing stuff to Nia Jax that she entirely forgets that Lash Legend is actually the person she needs to be worried about, because Lash Legend is still legal. So she hits a riptide on Nia Jax, and then that throws her back out. And then Lash Legend comes in with the pump kick and hits her backpack face buster thing that I don't think looks very good anytime she does it. But they win. Lash Legend pins Rhea Ripley, and you got new champs. And this feels like a possible pivot to get the tag titles off of Rhea and Io, to maybe have Rhea in a surprise win the Chamber tomorrow and go on to challenge Jade, which is a way to go. Anthony Velasquez says Rhea winning tomorrow night after dropping the tag titles. Looks like we're getting Rhea versus Jade, and maybe Io faces Julia at Mania. I don't think the second part happens, because Io is on Raw. And yeah, sure, people can switch over, but they'd actually have to write a reason for it. And Julia's not they could switch them, I suppose, but that's not. They're going to have something for Io to do over on Raw, I suppose, because they're a Raw duo. They were, and now they're not. After all that time of chasing the Kabuki Warriors and then winning the tag titles on January 7th or whatever, or January 5th, I did not think they were going to hold the titles for less than 2 months.
I mean, to be honest with you and to be fair, I think that whatever they were doing in the tag title scene for the women served its purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think now that Rhea and Io are going to be essentially gone out of that role, you're going to see a decrease in tag team presence. You already got Charlotte and Alexa Bliss out of there, which just happened to be organically over. They're really good together. They have a chemistry together. Excuse me, get it out. Don't pay rent. But also, I think about Io and Rhea, you guys were literally kind of just brute forced together for this tournament, for the tag titles. Fine, sure. But there is a world where I see Rhea going for Jade, which, if we're taking every criticism into account, I do think it's time that there's a pivot. I just wonder what happens to Jade after that. Don't know what happens to Jade after that. And then you have someone like Julia, who Julia could absolutely lose her title to someone like a Io Sky. But then what happens to Julia? Because not for nothing, look at what the hell they doing with Julia. So.
Yeah, no, they're not doing much with her either. I think that Rhea and Io actually, to me, came together pretty organically in that Rhea and Io were becoming friends because of their rivalry, and then them having that amazing match, but then Naomi coming in and cashing in on both of them. They kind of bonded over that. And at the same time, Asuka was being horrid to Io And so it became like a feud against the Kabuki Warriors against them. And that just continued for months until finally they won the titles from them. And they were the tag champs for, 7 weeks. Charlotte is backstage, and she's supposed to have been so depressed that she's now on her 3rd pint of ice cream. But I don't know if Charlotte is lactose intolerant, or if she is if this ice cream was gonna mess with her macros for today. But she is not eating ice cream. Charlotte has ice cream in front of her, and she is putting a spoon into a pint of ice cream, but there is no ice cream on the spoon when she puts it in her mouth. It is distracting how little ice cream she eats while putting a spoon into an ice cream pint. And she just keeps putting it into her mouth with nothing on the spoon. And this is, again, I am a 50-ish to 60-ish man. How do women manifest their depression? They eat a lot of ice cream. And so I don't have anything else for Charlotte to do. So I'm going to make her into a sitcom character from 1986. And like, I'm really upset and I'm PMSing. And so I'm going to eat all this ice cream is the thing that they have any of ideas. Charlotte says, I don't eat ice cream. They're like, you're going to do it for this scene. And they're like, great. I'm just going to lick a bare spoon. And Alexa Bliss is like, are you sure you're not mad that I'm in the chamber and you're not? It's like, no, I'm fine. I'm not crashing out. It's totally cool. I'm Charlotte. And here comes Kiana James and Julia, who are there. And Julia is the U.S. champion, but you could have fooled me because she seemed like the 4th most important person in this scene.
Sorry, I'm tired. It is almost 1 a.m., y'all. Forgive me. But also, you're not wrong. What popped me, though, is when Alexa Bliss says, yeah, just like Julia's fine when she just yelled at me randomly. Julia in fluent English, I'm passionate. Yeah. Goodbye. That was Andrade level stuff. Hey, tranquilo. Like, yo, this is why can't we have her do that more? Julia is funny as a straight woman. If you're gonna have her do comedy,
she's really good. She is one of those ones. I'm like, if you don't know what you have, you're so dumb. She wrestled for you and was really great for your company just on NXT. Do you guys not watch the product on Tuesdays? Because why is she this? I mean, the stuff that she was doing with RHIYO was pretty cool until the stupid stuff at the end of the match last week. But man,
I won't lie to I like that they're trying to make Charlotte human. I dislike, like I told Kate last week, Charlotte is being written like Regina George. Derogatory. Not the good parts of Regina George at this point. Because like you said, if I'm a girl and I'm that depressed and I'm eating 3 tubs of ice cream, I'm not doing my whole glam to go sit in the locker room.
No.
I'm going to be in my onesie. I'm going to be Johnny Gargano with that ice cream.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know, man. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I didn't see the last match because my computer died. So this is all you, Alex.
Oh, I know. I get it. I was MFTs are going to find out next week who their next challengers are going to be. It's probably the Wyatts, but that's the problem. Nia and Lash are going to celebrate, but Kathy Kelly is not invited. This is a scene I really liked where Aleister Black is talking to Randy Orton and says that black mass must have woke up something in you because you hit the RKO on a kid who wasn't doing anything to you. And Randy's like, I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know if you caused it or not. It was my favorite part of this is Aleister Black he calls Zelina Vega dear wife. Oh yes, dear wife. Like he's Macbeth and she's his queen. I thought that was he is endlessly fascinating to me because he is just the weirdest dude to be a professional wrestler.
He's Gomez from the Addams Family if he was a wrestler.
Well, she is definitely Wednesday. Not Wednesday. What's the
Morticia.
Morticia. She's definitely Morticia. Well, she's the height of Wednesday, but she is Morticia.
Yo, not too much. Not too much. I can't even argue that. Not too much.
But Orton says, after the chamber, I'm going to find you. And like Aleister Black says, yes, we know, because we set it up that way. I'm like, I just love the idea of like, yes, I'm 3 moves ahead of you in 7D chess. Yeah. Also, I'm a Satanist. Like, I don't even know who the hell is this guy. He's
the world's most fascinating man.
Yeah. Okay. So you missed the match, Cresta. So it falls to me to tell you what the hell is going on.
All right. Let me get comfortable.
Okay.
I'm going to lean back in my chair. Hopefully my headphones don't come out. I'm ready to be sports disappointed. Alex, take it away.
Logan Paul and Jacob Fatu are having a match in which Jacob Fatu is not murdering Logan Paul. So immediately it's a bullshit match. Logan Paul hits his terrible titanium punch thing, and it basically knocks out Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu should shrug that off immediately. But he goes down, and then there's a frog splash, and Jacob Fatu kicks out at 2.999999. Austin Theory is at ringside. He's there. The masked man hops the railing, Cresta. The masked man is not the same masked man we've seen. He is not wearing a full, long sweatshirt with black gloves. He is not wearing a hoodie up over his face. He's not wearing the full face mask so you can't see anything. He's wearing a ski mask. He's wearing a hoodie, but like the sleeves are cut off just like below the elbow. And he jumps over and he super kicks Austin Theory, and he's about to do a stomp, but Logan Paul slides out of the ring and knocks him out with his titanium punch. And then they unmask him. It's a random dude. Just a random dude, not a wrestler we've seen. Who knows who the hell this is? It is probably a local Louisville indie wrestler. He is arrested by a bunch of officials. They take him away, and it looks like perhaps Jacob Fatu might win this. But here comes Drew McIntyre to hit Jacob Fatu with the title belt, and Logan Paul beats Jacob Fatu, and Logan Paul is the last man in the Elimination Chamber. Luis Polito saying that the random dude is a student of Seth Rollins's Black and Brave school. So we're going to get more of that nonsense.
I didn't mean to disconnect, but my camera, my microphone, we all felt the same way. It's so bad the green screen out. They pissed me off in a way that I just want to end the show. I don't care. I didn't care before. I don't care now. Just give Cody. You just a random man. The problem with doing this is that you've already done this with Grande Americano, Bravo, Alpha, Cinco, Cinquenta. You can find me Cresta Star anywhere on social. I don't care. I knew Logan Paul won. I didn't know he won like that. Jesus Christ.
I guess we'll have to find out more about who the mystery man is and who put him up to this thing. Maybe they'll interrogate him at the Elimination Chamber tomorrow night. And if they do, you'll hear more from me and Kate on Fightful Select. Subscribe to Fightful Select.
Alex. Isn't this the same storyline as the big red guy with Daniel Bryanson, and they pulled off the hoodie and it was a lookalike or someone that...
Yeah. Is that...
No.
Oh yeah, and with Seth Rollins before, there was a guy who was a referee who was doing a fast count to give Seth Rollins a victory, and they pulled off his ref shirt, and he was wearing a Seth Rollins shirt underneath his ref shirt because he was a Seth Rollins disciple. And that never went anywhere. So they've completely just gone back to the same old lazy creative from 2021, I think. Everything is bad. And Danhausen is off the AEW roster page, but is he in a giant crate? You'll have to find out tomorrow. And when you do, we'll talk about it. Me and Kate behind the paywall. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great weekend, as much as you possibly can.